This is CNN.
Burma.
I've been on his show.
Steve from New Delhi. Go ahead, Steve. Hello, Guam.
Tonight, he returns the favor.
Wagon
One of the
band.
top 10 things about celebrating my 10th anniversary on CNN is getting to interview David Letterman on Larry King Live.
I just want to know what kind of car.
Welcome to a special 10th anniversary edition of Larry King Live. Now, live from the Ed Sullivan Theater, here's Larry King.
Hey, Ma, we made it. The Ed Sullivan Theater on Broadway, the home of the David Letterman Show. Since it's been redone, only the Letterman Show has been in this theater until they permitted us to bring our cameras in tonight to spend an hour with David. We'll be taking your phone calls. This is part of our 10th anniversary special. Also, we're saluting Save the Children Week, and we're wearing Save the Children ties all week. And David's going a little crazy because he has a thing in his ear. Now, you have to understand, Letterman, who is totally sick. He has this thing in his ear in order to hear your phone calls, and he doesn't like it in his ear. Now, it's going to bother you for how long?
I just want to say one thing here, Larry. I'm 48 years old. I've taken phone calls most of my adult life. I've never had a thing in my ear to take phone calls.
Well, what do you usually take?
Well, there's some kind of a device on the desk, and somebody says, Dave, you have a phone call, and it just works like that.
And you hold it in your hand.
Exactly. I don't have this.
But it would look awkward, don't you think, if we had a phone set up here?
A guy like you is worrying about somebody looking awkward? Come on, Larry, come on!
David, why did you agree to do this?
Well, first of all...
People have come up to me. He's doing an hour.
No, nobody's come up to you.
Yes,
Nobody
they
ever
have.
comes up to you. Why would a person come up to you? Because I like you, because I think the world of you, because you represent to me the heart and soul of what broadcasting is, should, and ought to be, and because of the prestigious nature of the celebration, 10 years on the air anywhere.
Did you like the fact that all this week with Mr. Clinton, Mr. Gore, we mentioned you, Ms. Streisand, we mentioned
How does President Clinton look to you physically? Were you in person with him, or was this a satellite deal?
No, we were sitting there in the White House.
Really? You got over the fence?
You think he doesn't look good? Are you worried?
I don't know.
We talked about you.
I saw him like 2 years ago, and he was enormous. He was a huge man. I'll bet you close to 300 pounds. But he's a big guy.
Oh, no, he's not 300.
So he can carry it. And I was just wondering, you know, has he dropped any weight, or is he still...
He dropped weight.
Huge.
All right, now let's get to the interview, David.
Yeah.
Are you happy?
Yeah, sure.
Are you?
Oh,
then why do you seem always, like, worried?
Well, you got to worry, but you know, you can also worry and still be very, very happy. But I think if you're not worried about something, you're not hooked up right. You know what I mean?
But are you continuously worried?
Well, there's a lot of stuff to worry about. It's a full day for me.
When your eyes open in the morning, is there a worry beginning?
Oh, sure, you got to have one. Got to have that eye opener. You got to have some kind of anxiety to slap you in the head, get you out of the house.
Then you can never be content.
No, that's not true. That's not true. No, it's just
Explain, really.
Well,
Okay.
well, I assume most humans are pretty much the same way. You have things that you worry about, and then you act on them. You don't just let them consume you. You're motivated by the worry, the anxiety, to accomplish some satisfactory resolution. And then, when you put your worries away, it's like a day at the beach.
Has success reduced worry?
No. Success, of course,
maybe.
it increases, sure, because the responsibilities are greater. And you have more things to worry about. And you can't tell me that you're carefree. A guy like you,
I'm not carefree.
You're on top of the world, 10 years on the air on the...
CNN.
You're right. And it's cable, right?
Yeah, but it's all over the world.
You know, Larry, my theory about cable. No, it doesn't bother me. You know, that's right. You are on all over the world.
220 countries.
It shouldn't be that way.
What's your thing about
the theory
cable?
about cable is when there's a big push to hook everybody up with cable, and that get these guys, the cable installers, you know, come out to your house, when they're looking around your house, where do you want the cable? You know, there's a lot of that. And then sometimes you have to punch 2 and 3 holes in various parts of your house because you have more than one set. Well, what they do, well, are you moving me along?
Yeah.
What they do, they're casing your house, and then later when you're out, no, I'm serious, they come back and steal you blind. That's the real myth.
These are things you worry about.
So no, I'm not worried about it. I've seen it. I know it for a fact. You pay twice for cable, once the monthly bill, and then twice replacing everything you own.
Are you now a mogul? Are you're a company, right? Worldwide Pants?
Yes, yes, we have a company. I wouldn't say that
you're
we're...
producing other shows. You got Tom Snyder. You're also producing, what, sitcoms?
Well, we have a half-an-hour situation comedy on the CBS fall lineup. And I'm making fun of cable.
They accepted you on CBS in the fall.
Yeah, well, but it's Bonnie Hunt, who's
she's great.
I mean, it just doesn't get any better. She's such a sweet, lovely, smart, fascinating, very, very funny.
Are you a hands-on operator of this show?
Larry?
No, I mean, are you close to...
No. Her producer is a guy who used to be our head writer, Rob Burnett, who is just the best. It's a wonderful combination, and I think it turned out very nicely.
Do you like the business of business? I mean, do you like being in a business rather than being just a performer?
Well, you make it sound like the other choice is sitting at home, you know, taking babysitting jobs.
No, I mean, some people don't. I don't think I'd like to run a company.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not really running it. We have a lot of people who know what they're doing, who are running it.
But you like the business end of it.
I like projects. I love nothing more than a good project.
Because?
Well, active, keeps you active. Idle hands are the work of the devil.
And more things to worry about when you have projects.
Yeah, oh man, I'm telling you. I want to tell you something. You get into this primetime world, and you're dealing with guys, you know, who usually working in puppet shows or something, and then all of a sudden now, and it's just it's crazy. It's a whole different area.
What was it like? I know there's a successful book out about it by Bill Carr, very good book by Bill Carr. What was that like? That whole world of contracts and Leno and changes and CBS.
It was, looking back on
it,
it seemed like endless at the time, and it caught me by surprise because nobody ever paid any attention to me at all. You know, we were on at 12:30. We did okay. We did pretty well, but 12:30, you know, the audience gets smaller, not only smaller but shorter, and they're way less. And nobody paid any attention, and then suddenly, I guess it was just this odd dynamic: NBC and myself, General Electric and myself, Jay Leno and myself, and you had like an ongoing soap opera, and then you throw Michael Ovitz into the deal, and suddenly, whoo,
you know, it's like a snowball effect.
Throwing,
but what's it like to be in the middle of the snowball?
It was interesting, but I tell you the most interesting thing is when you come through that, like anything else, and you have some perspective, and I can't pretend that it was objectivity, but having come through that, and then talking to Carter one night for 3 or 4 hours for that
book.
Yeah, silly book.
You didn't like the book?
I haven't read the book, but by choice. I mean, by choice. I just felt like I've been through it, I know it, and things that are inaccurate will only anger me, so what's the point? So anyway, having chatted, debriefing about that whole episode, it was fascinating to think, oh my God, and then that happened, and then we had the offer from Mexican TV, and I came very close to being in Guadalajara.
Mexico?
Yeah.
In your heart, would you have rather it had been The Tonight Show with David Letterman?
Not now, no, not now, but then, you know, I don't possess great vision. At the time, it seemed like it was The Tonight Show or I was out of business. It really seemed like you either, because I couldn't stay at 12:30. I had been there.
But you knew they'd all get in line for you, didn't you?
No, you
did not know that.
No, you just don't know that. No, and I think they only did because of Michael Ovitz, because he.
In other words, you think he engineered this?
Oh yeah, yeah. He put me on the marketplace and made it seem like, oh, we can't wait to get. What is it, Dave? Yeah, let's get that boy. You know, I mean, nobody really knew. So I mean, it was to him.
Do you think you could then, therefore, based on that, manufacture a personality with networks and get them in a...
No, I'm not saying manufacture. I have a personality. It's not that great, but I have my own personality. But I think that because of this dynamic, because of the politics of it, the strategy of it, the big guy, the little guy, the one guy didn't get the job, the other guy did get. I think that there was interest there, and then Ovitz all of a sudden. And also we had a lot of meetings. We went to Los Angeles once and had these meetings with these people, and I think that what made the real difference is they would bring in plates of fresh fruit, and it was first-rate produce. And I think that
impressed you.
Not me, but I think that impressed every other bonehead that came in. You know.
We'll be right back with David Letterman. He's our guest for the full hour tomorrow night. Clint Eastwood.
Hour. Nobody said
the full hour.
All right, cancel the car.
Don't go away.
Happy anniversary, Larry King.
Well, happy 10th anniversary, Larry. This is Dolly. Hang in there.
Happy anniversary, Larry.
Happy 10th anniversary, Larry.
We're back with David Letterman. You like that logo there?
Very impressive. Yeah, and also the 10th anniversary. That's nothing to be sneezed at, by the way. I mean, to survive and prevail, and moreover, to find your way in as being a cultural fixture, that's a pretty nice accomplishment for you.
What about, by the way, I thought you stopped smoking.
Oh, I'm not smoking this. I'm holding it for a friend.
No,
remember those days?
There's smoke coming out of it, and it's going into your mouth and coming out. Why are you doing this?
Just something to do, something to do. That's all.
Did you stop for a while?
I stopped for 6, 8 months, yeah.
And?
Started again.
Why?
Why not?
Why do?
I missed it.
Especially a hypochondriac, why?
I missed it desperately. I missed everything about it. I like the feel, I like the smell, I like the taste. I like everything about it.
So you said one day, what the hell?
Yeah, and then one day, what the hell, I'll quit again, and then I'll go back to it.
How did you react to all that money? I mean, everyone thinks of making big money or huge money, but you make ultra money.
Oh, I do not. Stop it. Like I hurt your feelings. I'm sorry, Larry. Did I hurt your feelings?
The reports are wrong.
It's your anniversary.
The
Forgive me.
reports are wrong.
I hurt Larry's feelings.
No, you make multi-millions,
I'll never
right?
forgive myself.
You make a lot of money.
Make a lot of money.
What was it like to sign that?
No, I mean, I was happy. It was nice, but I've never been motivated by money in my entire life. And I came from a background where, we didn't have much money, but we didn't want much, so it was never really a factor. And I'm lucky that I make a comfortable living, and I can do nice things for my family. I can do nice things for my friends, and I can do nice things for people who don't have that kind of money. And that's the extent of it. It's not like, Yahoo, I got money now, it's going to be babes, babes, babes.
You didn't go running out in the street saying, $12 million, Ovitz, you're a genius.
No, Ovitz is a genius, but it ain't the 12 million.
What's he like to have represent you?
It's great. It's
as a guy, what's he like?
I'm
Least
very
known
fond of the man. Very, very fond of the man. I want to tell you something, not that he needs me to say nice things about him, but he has done things for me, quietly, personal things, not big things, but significant things that were important to me at the time, for which I'll never be able to thank him or never forget. Just nice. Well, I'm not going to share them with you.
But they were personal and nice.
Yes, very nice.
Didn't have to do them.
Did not have to do them, no. No.
All right, the trouble at CBS. Today, Les Moonves, M-O-O-N-V-E-S?
Yeah, Moonves. Les
Moonves. Do you know him?
Have not met the man, no.
What do you think of this move?
Well, I can't tell Mr. Tisch how to run his company, so if he wants to hire somebody, fine. That's fine. We think that the guy has pretty good credentials, and we'll just get him in here, and I'm sure, things will be a honeymoon period, and then 2 or 3 months later, it'll be a daily fist fight.
What went wrong? What happened to CBS?
Oh, geez, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. And I'm not in a position to speculate. I know things happen that are troubling. When NFL football went away, that was troubling. It was troubling to me because, and I don't understand the intricacies of running a television network. I mean, you have the affiliates, you have the programming material, you have the news, you have on and on personnel, thousands and thousands of people. I don't know. But when the NFL football went away, that got my attention because it seemed like CBS and NFL, you knew that. They had to go hand in hand. And it was also an excellent promotional vehicle for the rest of the week's lineup. So when that slipped away...
was that then to you big danger sign?
To me it was, yeah, because that's very helpful to us in the rest of the week. You got 4 or 5 hours on Sunday to run promotion for shows through the rest of the week. And then when that went, that was a loss for us as a promotional opportunity.
How does CBS doing badly affect The Late Show?
It's not good for us. It's not good for us because in the world of network television, you try to build, and you have a good foundation, and then everything else benefits from the foundation that is laid.
So it matters what someone's watching at 10:30.
I think it does.
Affect you at 11:30.
I think it does. And then there is the overall perception. Well, nobody really wants to watch something that's not doing well. So I think that there's it sets into motion a gradual erosion that eventually is problematic. So I think it's been difficult for us.
Does it hurt you to put it down?
To put it down and make jokes about it?
Yeah.
No, although you have to be kind of careful because while I think that it's the kind of thing you need to make fun of, you're well within your rights to make fun of it. I mean, if I was at NBC, I'd be making fun of CBS. If I were at ABC, oh man, I like the sound of that. I'd be making fun of CBS. So if you're here, you have to make fun of it, So, but, the only thing we can concern ourselves with is our nightly show. And, we still do a pretty good job.
Does it? Of course you do. But does it lead to any kind of mental down? Do you say to yourself, Jesus, look at this. You don't think you made a mistake?
No, clearly didn't make a mistake. The last 2 years have been the best, most successful years of my life. And we went through horrible times at NBC. We got there right after Fred Silverman left. And I think Fred Silverman knew what he was doing. He was pretty good. He had worked at every network. But by the time he left NBC, their net profit for his final year as running that company, $18. Honestly, got my hand to God, Larry, $18. They weren't even clear. Did not clear $20. So that's when we jumped in there, and so that was tough. And then when NBC was sold to GE, that was difficult. And then, you know, now NBC, they have really good people, and they've put themselves back together, and they're in great shape. So we've been through this before, and I believe in my heart it's just the vagaries of any business.
On this very program, 2 nights ago, Mike Wallace asked Ted Turner to buy the network.
How'd that go?
Ted would like to buy it. Would you like him to buy it?
I think it would be nice to have, it seems to me that the present ownership and administration may be less interested in broadcasting than somebody who has spent most of their life working in broadcasting, coming up through broadcasting. I think it would not be a terrible thing, but again, it's up to Mr. Tisch how he wants to run the company, and, you know, so far all of the checks have cleared.
We'll be back on this 10th anniversary edition of Larry King Live with David Letterman. In a little while, will be your chance to talk to him.
Uh-oh.
Don't
Look
go
out.
away.
Happy 10th anniversary, Larry.
Happy anniversary, Larry.
Happy 10th anniversary, Larry, to many more.
Happy 10th anniversary to Larry King Live.
Happy 10th, Larry.
Happy 10th anniversary, Larry. You don't look a day over the first year.
We're at the Ed Sullivan Theater. Our guest is David Letterman. His name's out front. What's that like to see your name?
You know, the next
That's
time
gotta
you
be a
mention
hoot.
my name, can you refer to me as one of the great showmen of the 20th century?
Well, from that thing
Okay.
outside,
Thank
you
you.
would
I'd
think
appreciate
so.
it.
One of the great showmen of the
20th
century, in the keeping with George M. Cohan and that
Whatever.
great tradition.
Whatever.
David Letterman.
Thank you.
Going to host the Oscars again?
If they ask me, sure.
Did you have fun?
I wouldn't say I had fun. It was endlessly interesting and entertaining.
How did you
Every
react
aspect
to
of it.
the people who rapped?
That's part of it. You know, you screw something up, people are going to get you.
Did you think you screwed up?
Not at the time, and then later thinking about it, I think, yeah, I guess I screwed it up. I screwed it up so bad. You know, they decided they would not have the awards again next year, and I heard today, reading an article, maybe it was your column, where they're going to stop making movies altogether.
Well, none of them make money. Do you have a favorite type of guest?
Yeah, this is going to sound like I'm kissing up to you, and believe me, I seize every opportunity I can to kiss up to you, a guy like you. People who have stuff, have life experience, doesn't make any difference what they do. You know, they always say, we got a dentist who uses his feet. You think, great! Well, it's not that. It's the person and then the occupation second.
Person always first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, in fact, tonight on the show we had this woman from Idaho who won $90 million in that Powerball.
Oh, yeah.
And it was nice because here is just exactly what you want. A normal person went in, bought a couple of tickets. 2 days later, she finds out she's won $90 million. Very nice, very sweet, very happy. Still, you know, trembling, just sort of the vestiges of shock over this episode. And to me, you know, I'll take that all day, all night.
Right now, I'd love to have on next show Captain O'Grady, coming back from...
Yeah, I found out tonight he's going to be on our show.
When?
Sometime next week. You're getting upset now, aren't you, Larry?
No, I'm not upset.
You want him on first, don't you?
First, no. If he goes on you first, I know I'll get information. Of course, you're just going to kid. But you like him.
Well, how can you kid about that? The guy's blown out of the sky.
You will kid.
I mean, it's a great story, and it's the kind of thing. I mean, that part of the world, and then also Rwanda, that part of the world, for the last 18 months, all we've heard has just been horrible, human sludge and massive violations against humanity. And then you hear something wonderful about this. So that, you know, I think that fires people a little bit. They think, oh, you know, that lifts everybody. So I'm very pleased that he'll be here.
Oh, well, me too. You don't know the night, though.
I don't know.
Okay.
Do you have a subscription to TV Guide? It'll be in TV Guide. When you go home, look in the TV Guide.
Okay. What do you do weekends? Where do you go?
I hide under the house.
No one knows anything about you.
What's to know? What do we know about you? What do you do on the weekends?
Where do you go? I'm around, though. You know, when you do your monologues, I was walking down Broadway today. That part cracks me up.
Yeah.
You've never walked down Broadway.
I know people who have walked down Broadway.
You don't go to parties. You shy away from things.
Parties? I never went to parties, even when I was in school.
I know, but why?
I don't know. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go to parties.
Do you like?
I'm my own party, Larry.
Do you like aloneness?
No, not necessarily. I'm very happy with the way my life is. I'm not drawn to, motivated to go to parties and I'm in show business. You're in show business. Let's go out and buy socks. That to me is not.
You're
that
not
big
a show businessy guy, even though you're a major mogul in the business.
Oh yeah, that's right. No.
No, that is strange. You love your business,
I've always
right?
thought of myself as somebody who was in broadcasting, not necessarily show business, and I'm more comfortable with that. And if those two overlap, and I guess they do, then to that extent.
So you consider yourself a broadcaster entertainer, not an entertainer broadcaster.
Yeah, but I've had great fortune to work all my adult life in broadcasting, which is what I decided I wanted to do one day in high school, and I think who among us can say that they've been able to do exactly what they wanted to do all their life.
Wish.
Yeah.
The thing with Leno, personal rivalry or just professional rivalry?
Just professional rivalry. It's like car companies, Ford and General Motors. You want to do better than the competition, and that's the extent of it.
Is Carson the figurehead for everyone in this business to you?
I'm sorry, I didn't get the name?
Carson.
I'm sorry. Well, of course.
I mean, he's the model figure.
Well, I've said it so many times. Here's a guy who was on the air, not on the air. He succeeded, not only succeeded, prevailed for how long? 5 years, 10 years, 30 years. So, those are pretty good numbers to shoot for.
Do you want to do 30 years?
No. In fact, it was, I think in a couple of weeks will be the 15th anniversary of our first network show at NBC.
The daytime.
The daytime show. And I think to myself, you look at it and you think 15 years represents a pretty sizable chunk of your life. And then on the other hand, you put it up next to Carson, and it's only half.
But you don't want to be longevity?
No, I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. I would like to force myself to try and find something else that was as much fun and as satisfying as broadcasting has been for me.
Want a film career?
No. Good heavens, no. Get a hold of yourself. Take a sedative.
When we come back...
Relax.
When we come back...
One of the great showmen of the 20th century.
George M. Cohan will take your phone calls. Don't go away.
This is when I realized that you were the biggest star in the world. We're visiting South Africa this past Christmas with the Ingala Game Reserve. So I'm saying to the trackers there, hey, do you know Michael Jordan? Do you know who Michael Jordan is? They don't know Michael Jordan. They say to me, do you know Larry King? Ha! Yeah, I know Larry King, but you don't know Michael Jordan? Larry King, Michael Jordan, Larry King, you are a really big deal.
Now, Larry King is celebrating his 10th anniversary. Here we go. Number 10, a leisurely stroll down beach in nothing but suspenders. Oh. Number 9, evening of wine and slow dancing with Wolf Blitzer. Number 8, tying all his suspenders end to end, slingshotting himself to Neptune. Number 7. Number 7, getting really drunk and riding Janet Reno around town. Number 6. Number 6, hiring dominatrix to tie him up in suspenders. Number 5, a one-time gathering of all Mrs. Kings called Wife-a-Palooza. Number 4, having suspenders permanently tattooed on his chest. Number 3, quiet romantic dinner with Marlon. Oh, well, that'll be good. I wonder. Goodbye. Number 2, pulling his suspenders so tight his head and his ass switch places. And the number 1 way Larry King is celebrating his 10th anniversary, new co-host Connie Chung. There you go.
I don't know. That's hysterical. Why are you in pain watching yourself?
Well, first of all, I wasn't. When I asked you if you had seen that, and you said you
I
had
said
not.
no, I had not.
Yeah,
and when they said, you want to see it, I said no, I'd like to be surprised.
Maybe there will be something you will find upsetting.
I know, but you look at yourself painfully.
Well,
finish
sure.
already, Dave. Finish.
I'm the homeliest man on television.
You don't like the way you look?
No.
You think you're funny?
Occasionally.
Okay.
Occasionally.
Think the top 10 list a great idea?
Oh, it's one of those wonderful ideas. We have been blessed over the years by finding writers have found for us ideas that have kind of a universality, and that's one of them. The trick to it, of course, is making it funny every night, and you know, some nights they're not funny. Some nights they're the strongest part of the show, but it's tough. But we're very lucky that, and like we do Stupid Pet Tricks. You know, when I'm dead, people will be doing that on the moon, and that was another great idea. Yeah.
Connie, before we take calls, Connie Chung. That's the question.
Right. Well, I understand. I feel badly because I understand Connie is upset with me because of, well, I think we joked about her departure from CBS. And I feel badly about it if she's upset with us.
Don't apologize to her?
I'm terribly sorry, Connie. But what we tried to do, you had to pick a side, and you're always better off painting the corporation as the villain. So we kind of tried to take her side in it, and
so why would she be mad?
Well, I don't know. I mean, she could be mad at me for any one of.
Well, wait a minute. Maybe you're a little nuts here. Maybe
No. I know. I'll grant you that.
Why would she be mad at you if you took her side?
I think probably that a person in that position might fall prey more readily to insult than under normal circumstances.
You have Rather on next week, do you know?
Yeah, I like Dan Rather. Now, you talk about a guy, you know, who's a good guest. Tom Brokaw, always good. You're always good. Dan Rather, and it's interesting, Dan Rather and Tom Brokaw, I think a lot of people think, well, it's the same guy. They do the same thing for a living. You know, I mean, it's the same kind of guy. But they are two completely different men, and both great in their own respective ways, and equally entertaining in different ways. Dan Rather is completely different as a guest than Tom Brokaw, but they're always first rate.
But Connie Chung, you like.
I've always loved Connie Chung, and she married she was married to Vince McMahon. Is that who she's married to? The wrestling
guy?
Yeah, I think she's still married to him.
Yeah, I think yeah. He still promotes.
Yeah.
Let's go to calls. Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
Quebec.
For Mr. Letterman.
Quebec. I think it's Quebec.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. My question is that really your mom that we saw in the Olympic Games?
Yes, it was. It was and still is.
Why do people think that was a bit?
Because I've joked about it from time to time as if being calling her an actress. You know, of course,
Were you
that's not my real mom.
surprised at what she became?
Yeah, very surprised. Because the way that came about, how are things in Quebec, by the way?
Are you still there, ma'am? Gone. Go ahead, see.
Adios.
We moved
as they say in Quebec, adios. You know, we were very surprised because CBS came to us and said, look, we got the Olympics, anything you want to do, and we thought, oh, great, now all we got to do is come up with an idea. I'm telling you, Larry, it's hard to come up with ideas. It's
Every night.
Hard.
Yeah. So you said, my mother, I'll send my mother. That's what you said?
Yes, more or less, and we were very surprised. And to this day, I'm not exactly sure why everybody took to that so nicely, but it was, the best of it is, after years and years and years of disappointment from me, by me, this was something really nice that I could do for her, and she had a great time.
So you've made it up to your mom?
I don't know that I've made it up to her, but it was still...
Is she now a regular? You send her other places?
We've had her, she went with us to London.
Right. Where next?
I don't know, depends on where we go. But you have to be careful, because we got away clean with the Olympics. And you want to have that as a nice, positive memory and moment for your mom. So, you know, if you run it into the ground, as we are prone to do with everything... You get a good idea, and then you beat it to death. That's our motto. But it turned out nicely for her.
Seattle, Washington, for David Letterman. Hello.
Yes, hi, Larry.
Hi.
Dave, contrary to what you were saying before, I'm wondering if you're aware that as kind of a cultural phenomenon, you're the thinking woman sex symbol.
Well, here, now, at long last, we're getting someplace.
Do you have a question?
That was it. Is he aware of that fact?
Are you aware that you're the thinking woman's sex symbol, and are you comfortable with the fact that you are?
Well, no, it's a moment of flattery that'll get me through the weekend, but...
Maybe through Tuesday.
And I certainly appreciate the sentiment, but it's nothing I could have conjured on my own, and I do a great deal of self-conjuring, if you know what I mean, ma'am.
Let's go to Grosse Pointe, Michigan, for David Letterman. Hello.
Hi, Larry. Hi, Regis. I just wondered, Dave, what you think you'll be doing about 15 years from now.
15 years from now, I don't know. I know.
You'll be how old?
15, you do the math. I'm 48 now.
63.
So 10 would be 58, and then if you say...
63.
About 63, ma'am.
What will you be doing?
I have no idea. I hope I'm still alive. I hope I'm still getting around okay. I will not be doing this when I'm 63. Clearly
not.
No.
Why is it true that after every show, you go in and watch the whole show and get very self-critical?
Yeah. Not after every show, just the ones that I screw up.
Which are how many out of 5?
Oh, I'd say 4 out of 5.
One other thing.
I ought to be on the bench, just between you and me.
Why is it so cold here? I'm freezing to death.
This is
Why do you do this?
Well, because if you had spent any time in broadcasting, Larry...
I like it cool. This is cold.
No, we have... Look around you. You see electrical equipment. You plug in your toaster. You plug in your TV. You plug in whatever devices you have at your house. God knows what that might be. and it heats up. And then you get 500 people off the streets of New York. That heats up. And before you know it, what starts out to be about 15, 20 degrees, which is what it is now, suddenly you're up around 80 or 90, and people are nodding off.
But now of course, there's no one in the audience, and it stays at 15.
Well, I just want to see you squirm a little bit.
The entire crew is wearing leather jackets, and it's summer. We'll be right back with David Letterman and more of your phone calls. Don't go away.
Larry thinks it's getting colder.
It's getting colder.
You're going to start to hallucinate.
I'm not. Maybe it's. I'm warped.
Larry, it's fine.
I like it. This is really comfortable to you.
I couldn't be more comfortable.
You know why? Because there's nothing blowing directly on your head.
Oh, well, see.
Something is blowing directly on my head.
Who picked the chairs? You picked the seat locations.
You
put
out
the
late
place
show
card.
jackets, your yellow.
Yeah, we can get you one. We have a lovely line of merchandise, by the way.
How much is it?
I think we mostly give it away.
You don't get a cut?
I didn't say that.
Okay. We never, personal lives get dragged out everywhere, and except for some woman bothering you all the time, we never hear about you.
All right.
Why not? Why don't we know?
There's nothing to say.
Nothing to say.
What do you want to know?
Girlfriends?
Yeah.
A lot of them, many of them.
No, one.
What is her name?
I'm not telling you. The last time I mentioned her name, people drove by her parents' house and bothered them, so I'm just not going to do it. Let's say it's Debbie.
Okay, Debbie. Are you going to marry Debbie?
Oh, one day, sure.
Oh, you are?
And if Debbie hangs around long enough.
Want to raise a family?
Oh, I'd like to have a family. I've always wanted to have a family.
Well, at age 48, don't you think you ought to start getting with it?
It's interesting. I agree. Clearly, I agree. David Brenner was on the show the other night, and he's, I think the world of David Brenner, but you and I both know he's twice my age.
Almost, yeah.
No, not almost. He is. He's twice my age.
94, I think.
He's
96, maybe? Okay, you say 96. Okay.
And he just had the most beautiful little baby boy about 6 weeks ago, and he was showing pictures of the kid.
Wouldn't you love that?
Yeah, sure. No, I think he should have another one.
No, you.
Oh. Yeah, no, I would love it.
You don't want to be a 75-year-old dad.
No, of course not. Just, geez.
So marry Debbie and have a kid.
This now is how every weekend of my life goes. Yeah, just exactly. Why don't you ride home in the car with me?
I don't like speeding.
Hey.
Let's go back to the calls. Berlin, Germany for David Letterman.
It's not Berlin, Germany. Come on.
Sure.
Yes.
Hey. Hi. Sure, it's Berlin.
Hello.
Hello. I always see your shows. Hi, Larry.
Hi.
Hi, Dave.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, Dave. I always see your shows every night. Yeah, I'm staying up every night to see your shows. And
Thank
I
you.
have a question for you.
Yeah?
I saw your shows which came from London.
Yes, sir.
When do you come to Berlin to have the show in Berlin?
Well, that's certainly an interesting idea.
How are you seen in Berlin? On the NBC put you up on a bird?
I think it's probably CBS puts us up somewhere.
I'm sorry.
I think NBC has very little to do with us these days.
I didn't know CBS had a bird.
I don't know. Honestly, I think maybe Sky TV out of London. I don't know. Actually, we have an outlet in Germany. That's
so
right.
You're big in Germany?
I don't know that we're big. We apparently are seen there.
Would you like to do a show from Berlin?
I would love to go to Berlin. I've never been to Berlin. Yeah. I've only been to Germany a couple of times, and I would be, I think it would be endlessly fascinating to be in Berlin and just to see, I mean, heavens, generation and generation and generation of interesting global history there.
Do you like traveling the show?
Yeah, it's always a great experience because when we travel the show, we take everybody because we try and make it mean something to the people who work so hard to here every day. So it's not like we just take 2 or 3 people. We take everybody. Every name that you see on the crawl and many names that you don't see, everybody goes with us. So for me, whether they understand it or not, I take some satisfaction in being able to do that. For example, even going to London, I found out that many of the people who went with us had never been to London before and had a wonderful time. So that's great satisfying for me, greatly satisfying.
Grand Rapids, Michigan. Hello.
Dave, we love you in Grand Rapids.
Thank you very much.
We're wondering how you came up with Worldwide Pants, and we heard a rumor in Grand Rapids that the home office may be moving from Sioux City, Iowa to Grand Rapids. Can you speak to that?
Now, what would that mean to you if we could make that change?
Oh, Grand Rapids is an all-American city. It certainly would be an improvement for the home office.
Would you have a parade for them?
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure we could arrange that.
Is that like the home of the Gerald Ford Library or something?
Absolutely, that museum.
Yeah.
President Bush is here today, too.
Oh, yeah, what's President Bush doing there?
What's he doing there?
He's here for an Amway convention.
Amway convention. Amway, the home products people.
Does it seem right to you that a former president is selling soap? Does it seem about right to you?
And we got to take a quick break. How'd you come up with Worldwide Pants?
I wish I had a good answer for that. We'll move it, sir. It's done.
Done. Starting Monday.
Yep. Grand
What
Rapids.
are they going to say in Sioux City?
They don't care. They weren't that happy to have us anyway.
Okay, Grand Rapids, Letterman comes to you on Monday. You too, Debbie. We'll be right back.
Happy anniversary, Larry.
Happy 10th, Larry.
Happy anniversary, Larry.
Larry, congratulations on your 10th anniversary. This is just the beginning. Remember how long Noah lived? I'm sure you'll live at least that long. So several hundred years from now, everybody will be waiting right after dinner to watch Larry King live.
We'll be back with more of Torture the Host. Our remaining moments with Letterman after this. It's your control room. Welcome back to the Ed Sullivan Igloo.
Yeah, Larry's losing the feeling in his extremities.
That's right. It's starting to frostbite to do Letterman.
Buck up, buddy.
Okay. Strawbridge or Strourbridge, England. Hello.
Hello. It's Bob at Stourbridge in England.
Yes.
I would like to ask Dave, who was the most disappointing celebrity on the program?
Other than present company, you mean?
Bearing in mind how articulate and how intelligent you are.
Oh, please.
Who disappointed you? Madonna?
No. It surprised me, certainly. She did surprise me, but it didn't really disappoint me. Unfortunately, I think the disappointments are more my responsibility because anybody who accepts an invitation to be on the show is going to give their best effort. You assume, you think, you believe, of course. And so I think that if things don't go well, it's usually my fault. Because you ought to be able to talk to almost anybody for 8 minutes and get something out of it. And if it doesn't gel, I think it's my responsibility, my fault.
Who do you want to get that you haven't gotten?
The same list that everybody is after. We've been trying to kiss up to the Clinton administration since they took office. And
you got Gore.
Yeah, he was great. You know, that was very nice. And
I put in a
Bob
word for
Dole
you.
also was on. I forget when it was, and he was great too.
I put in a word for you.
I appreciate it.
I think you're going to get him.
It would be nice because I think that they come here maybe with some trepidation, and people are so excited and interested to see one of these policymakers, people who potentially can influence the lives of the folks who are in these seats. And when they're in here, I think there's automatically an electricity that you may not get normally. And I think some of these people, some of these men and women could do themselves a lot of good by more exposure on venues like this. And certainly they've had great success with
So you think people like Newt Gingrich should come?
Oh, yeah, we have offers to him. You know, they're interesting.
I think they're worried that you're going to put them down or something like that. This is a comedy show.
But also, if they have been the victim or butt of some of our jokes and comedy, it's a great way to diffuse that and neutralize it and get people on their side, at least for that moment. We've been so hard on Ted Kennedy over the years. Just unmercifully. If we're short of a joke, we toss in a Ted Kennedy joke because it works. It's knee-jerk. It's reflex. And it's...
if he came, he would diffuse that.
I think so.
It's
wildly unfair on our part, but, you know, we're in here every night fighting for our lives, so you need a big laugh. You say, oh, Ted Kennedy's had a couple of beers. Woo.
August is 2 years.
Yeah, that's right.
How long you signed for?
I have no idea. Honestly, I keep...
Come on.
But once or twice a week, I make that call and say, how much longer do I have to do this?
How much do you must have some memory of how long the contract is.
You'd think, wouldn't you?
You would think, yeah.
I don't know. I've heard anywhere from 3 to 6 years.
You mean you could be saying goodbye a year from August, or be here through the end of the decade?
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not saying goodbye at all. We got a lot more stuff to do.
You mentioned ABC with a great deal of enthusiasm earlier.
Well, just...
I mean, would you like to have Bounce Nightline and have them follow you?
Yes.
Straight out, yes.
No. Ted Koppel and I have kind of a friendly relationship, and I just think the world of him. And I think commercial broadcasting is lucky to have a show and a format on a nightly basis like that with a man like Ted Koppel.
So you don't regard it as a rival?
No, not at all. No, I mean, he deserves to be on the air. That show deserves to be on the air, and they deserve everybody that watches them.
All good shows deserve to be on.
Yeah, but I mean, he's exemplary. You know, he's just...
Are you the kind of person who looks at the ratings every day?
Yeah, well, that's the business we're in, sure.
And do you measure it? Do you say, oh, we got a 6, and therefore this guest must have been good, we'll have her back, or we got a 4, this guest was bad, or do you...
well, as you know, in broadcasting, the questions are infinite, and there's only a handful of answers.
That's right.
And so it's the perfect way to torture yourself, you know. Was it the color of the suit? Was it the way my hair looked? Was it the guest? Was it the temperature in the studio? It's never the temperature in the studio.
No.
That always gets great ratings.
David, I can't thank you enough for a wonderful...
Larry, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here, and I hope in some way I've been able to help you celebrate 10 years.
You have.
It's a nice accomplishment. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. By the way, Save the Children is a wonderful charity, and they make these great ties, all designed by kids. This was designed by Kelly, age 13. You can order those ties. There's an 800 number, and we'll be letting you know how to order them, and we'll try to wear them as much as we can throughout June. This tie and Save the Children. Tomorrow night, Clint Eastwood. Heard of him?
Yeah.
Actor.
He's yellow.
He's yellow?
He's scared of me. I called him out once on the Tonight Show. He wouldn't fight me.
Uh-huh. Challenging him to come back. Clint Eastwood tomorrow night. David Letterman tonight. This has been a great 10th anniversary week. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a wonderful weekend, and...
Oh, stop it, please.
Good night. Good night. Good night.
Bring your mittens next time.
Happy 10th anniversary, Larry.
Happy anniversary, Larry.
Happy 10th, Larry.
Happy anniversary, Larry.
Happy 10th, Larry.
Happy anniversary, 10 years old. You don't look it.
This is CNN.
Oh.